welcome back to another episode of Who Am I to Judge podcast. I'm Alexis.
And I am Samantha. How are y'all?
Hello. How are you doing?
I'm good. We're having a special episode because we're having our first kind of guest on the show. I have my bestie Soleil here. She's staying with me this week, so she's just going to be listening in on the conversation.
Friend of the pod. Yes, we're excited.
Yes. So we have a lot to talk about, but
moving forward, we should have a really fun bio about the person coming, fun little quirky facts about them that are just funny.
Oh, yeah, that's a good idea. I mean, we can definitely tell the audience who Soleil is to us. We have known Soleil since literally since the Sandbox. I came to Holy Trinity, which was our elementary school, when I was 7, and Alexis, or when I was 6, and Alexis came when she was 7. And Soleil been there since kindergarten. She's
Holy Trinity bred, okay?
Yes. Exactly. So we've known each other for forever, and yeah.
Yes, and we think she's probably one of the wisest people we know and funniest people we know. So we're so happy to have her.
Oh my goodness. I love this girl so much. I know, this is so fun. I can't wait to have more friends on the podcast. So just get ready for that, friends.
Get ready, friends, with Samantha and Soleil. How are y'all?
I am good. I know. There's a lot of things happening.
We gotta talk about a lot, okay?
Yes, there's a lot of people on trial today. But I'm good. I'm cooling. I feel blessed. Life is lifing, but trying to take it one day at a time, one moment at a time. So, yeah. How are you, my friend?
I am good. Work today was, what it is. At the end, it's just extra because, how I work at a very bougie school in Brooklyn, and they so at the end of the year, we used to do at elementary school field day, or maybe you have a party and you'll have popsicles outside or something. And they were like, we should put on a special presentation for the kids. And so I was already annoyed because I'm just literally when I got the job, they told me this was literally verbatim. My boss is it's pretty much babysitting this job. And so I'm expecting I'm coming in, I can kind of chill, do the job, but chill. So today started the first day of rehearsals for this fucking presentation that we're doing.
Y'all are the performers?
Yes, we're the performers for the end of the year. We
for
the kids. We changed the lyrics to Under the Sea to lyrics about the after school program. And so literally, Samantha, you just would have been laughing because we were in a little room with my boss with her ukulele playing it as we're reading the lyrics. And it's just it's gonna be a fun performance, but it's just why can't this job they always just do too much? Why can't the job just be chill? So literally we practice Monday, Wednesday, Friday, and then next week we start doing choreography. It's gonna be it's just very funny. So
choreography, oh my god,
they just do too much of this job. And so
it's just hilarious because Alexis always never fails to remind me this is an aftercare.
This is aftercare. We are not their daytime teachers.
Right.
I have them for 2:15 to 5:45. This is the lowest stakes possible. And they always just do too fucking much. So here we go. So we're gonna start practicing, and we did today.
So I want to see. I hope that you get a recording of this so that I can see it.
It is what it is. So I was just annoyed by that, and just on top of the lyrics they have the note, they'll be sing instead of Under the Sea we say at BFX, and they have the notes CFG, like say it on that key. I'm like, I didn't do, like that's doing a lot. Like you're taking it very seriously, because it's just like usually you just sing
Alexis,
the
I
lyrics,
cannot
but they're like, this is the key, sing it in this key. It's like, okay.
Alexis is always in the funniest situation.
I know, I really am. Like,
that I wish that I could be there. Alexis always calls me and just like, you would be laughing. And she knows that if I was there, I would be cracking up at her happiness. And I just know she'd be cracking up in her head.
yes, it was funny. So yeah, that was like fun. But I feel like other than that, it's been chill. We were watching the WNBA, the 2 WNBA games just now. But yeah, it's been a good afternoon, I would say.
Yay. I know. I mean, for real, it's moment to moment. Like, I'll be having a good morning, and I'll be having, like, the second half of the morning's a little fucked up and emotional, but I'm
getting
feeling good
through
right
it
now. So I'm going to take it and run with it.
Let's get to it.
Let's get to it, Alexis.
All right. Well, I'll ask you, who's on trial? You can start us off this week.
Who do we go with first? I think we should get the obvious
jump right in
out of the way. Yeah, because there's a lot of people, but definitely we got to talk about P. Diddy or Diddy or whatever the fuck he wants to be called, and the video that surfaced.
Let's just give a little context of the video just in case like someone hasn't seen it.
I was about to get into that.
Go for it.
So the video, so months ago, I think. I don't know if it's been a year.
It's been years. This was a
No, I'm talking about since the Cassie's like lawsuit came out.
Oh, girl, look at you giving real good context. Okay, go ahead.
I don't remember though if it was like.
Go ahead.
Okay, yeah, like a few
Soleil
months ago,
can look it up.
Cassie came out and told us her experience through this lawsuit. We read about it. People that were on the right side of history believed her right away and was just like November 16th.
And in that, she like alleged a lot of things. Well, now we believe it. I mean, we believed it the whole time, but like physical abuse, drugging, and like sexual abuse. I would say
worst kind of like
sex trafficking. I mean, everything.
Like, just the most horrific like stories of this woman. And
he settled with her.
Yeah, he settled with her. What we think is like a $30 million settlement, allegedly. We don't know. But that's what the streets are saying. And we just saw something on the Shade Room that said like they're barred to like speak each other's name ever.
Oh, I could believe it.
So that happened a few months ago, and we all were like, it'll be 6 months. What is it? It was 6 months ago on. Yeah, on like May. Yeah, it was like 6 months ago. Yeah,
wow, it seems like just the other day. But then, I feel like a couple months later, we see that like the police are raiding Diddy's house. There's like even more commotion with that, and then that kind of brings us to.
And then another, we've had like multiple people allegations coming out. We've talked about it on the podcast, and then this weekend or this week, a very disturbing video of P. Diddy beating Cassie's ass. Like, it's just
let's give some so like it was I think a 2016 or 2015 video. I don't know, so they can fact check me on that. 2016 video in a hallway in a hotel. Diddy like Cassie's seen like it seems as though to me like she's trying to leave the room, and Diddy comes running out in a towel, and that begins the beating and chasing her, pulling her, dragging her, hitting her, kicking her,
stomping her. It's the most disturbing. Like, I feel like I haven't seen a video like that come out, like
not of somebody that more high profile.
Yeah. And so that's really what I want to,
because I feel like you've seen, like, I remember the Quavo Sweetie video, and I remember another one, but I feel like this one, for someone so like, people see him as like a A-list, elite,
Oh my
rebranded,
God. He was the
businessman,
black
respectful.
billionaire
Exactly.
businessman in our
Exactly.
community.
Mm-hmm.
But Soleil said she'd never seen the Quavo Cassie thing,
No,
which was
sweetie.
just, oh yeah, Quavo Saweetie thing. She
Well,
was
yeah,
like,
they're in an elevator as well.
yeah, they were in
Mm-hmm.
an elevator and like she was like trying to get out and he like yanked her back in and like,
Kind of
you
like
know, like
jacked her
really
up.
yanked her and yeah,
Mm-hmm.
like jacked her up and like she just like was in the elevator
Helpless, yeah.
like she like kind of was just in there
Mm-hmm.
crouched down
And I
and
want to
then like
say,
I'm
like,
like
a security guard was in there too. Like, they were just watching it. They just kind of let it happen. Like, one of his
I don't
people,
know if a
his
security guard was
entourage.
in it.
I'm
I
assuming
thought
it's a security guard.
when I saw the video there wasn't anybody else in the
Oh, okay. Maybe I'm
elevator.
misremembering. But
But yeah, so
tell me your thoughts. You can say this off. Like, what are your thoughts? Because I see that Diddy, we can get into it later, but like he has released an apology. And I also feel like these past couple years, he's been trying to rebrand as this like love, everything is love kind of guru. And like, you know, love
mhm.
is one and love is this and I'm love. And so it's just interesting. So, what are your thoughts?
I mean, I was absolutely disgusted when I saw that video. I really was sick to my stomach. I can't believe that this woman went through that. I can't believe women go through that in general.
Mm-hmm.
And I feel like I'm honestly like just still processing and understanding like what happens now. Like apparently he's not able to get charged for that,
Mm-hmm.
settled. And
Mm-hmm.
then there's just a lot of questions. Like me and Soleil were talking about like why wasn't the footage immediately like turned over and like we know like obviously it seems like money is the reason why like Diddy was able to pay the hotel off or something, but it was like why aren't there um protocols that you can't do that, like like that this should have been immediately handed over, whatever. And it's just like it's just
Mm-hmm.
scary also the fact that this was in the hallway
Yeah.
in a
Mm-hmm.
hotel.
Mm-hmm. Anybody could
Like
have walked out
does
that
he think
room.
that he owned like I mean they probably had the whole floor or
Floor, yeah.
something,
Mm-hmm.
but it's just like the freaking like audacity, like the fact that he felt so comfortable doing that is just really scary in terms of like what has been done and has been going on behind closed doors. And it's just, I mean, I'm
This
just
is
so
my
happy for
thing.
Cassie for just like being
Getting out.
free. I'm happy that she got out, yes, because that shit was, she like stomped her out. Like I just can't imagine that. And that was
I'm
just
thinking like
so.
I don't know, I have a lot of thoughts. Like I think we kind of in this moment kind of see like the power again that we're always reminded of Diddy, but also of money, in the sense that like yeah, obviously to a reasonable person, you know, you would see this type of footage and immediately possibly report it to the police or something like that. However, money talks, and in this situation I want
Mhm.
to say that I've been seeing tweets that he paid the hotel staff $50,000 to basically never release the footage. And I mean, yeah, like we see right there that people are willing to like turn a blind eye to like really bad things if you know the money is at a point where they're willing to fold. I also think
And just
secondly, well, I have a couple more thoughts. Like secondly, just like it always just makes me, well, two things. I'm just thinking about like the I can't imagine like Diddy is just a disgusting person because you have to be a very like self-entitled, think you're the most like your shit doesn't stink, the most like precious thing on earth to believe that you have the right to put your hands on someone and do whatever you want to them. Like you must think you're on a different level, they are above you. I mean, I'm sorry, they are below you, that you can just do what you want with them and treat them like garbage. It is disgusting to me. And also it's hard for me to like really think about all the people that are around Diddy consistently and the
mhm.
amount of people it took to be quiet about this,
Right,
because I'm like, I'm
right.
sure everyone down to his makeup, his stylist, his entourage, his kids,
Everybody.
family members, friends have seen him, even if they haven't seen him lift a hand to Cassie, have seen him
Yes,
disrespect her in a way that was
yeah,
probably uncomfortable.
for
And it
sure.
took all of those people also being silent too. And so it just really is disgusting because it really makes me think about power and capitalism in a different way, and how it can be used, yes, to like harm people and make us keep us in debt and be terrible and gatekeep and things like that, but also how it can like inadvertently like like inflict physical violence and harm on people in a way, you know? And
Yeah.
I just feel like you don't ever really think about it operating that way, but it does. I don't know. What are your thoughts, Soleil? I heard you
Well,
mumbling.
when you said like um protecting abusers,
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
it protects the abuser.
Mm-hmm.
That's
Mm-hmm.
insane.
And I think just like the money, like, and also just the celebrity too. Like, and I think obviously, I think the hotels obviously know when they have like a lot of money in their
Mm-hmm.
building. But I also feel like celebrity too, it's just like, you know, they were like, oh, like this is, he gets special privileges because it's
Mm-hmm.
Diddy. It's like,
Mm-hmm.
oh, we need to call somebody because we just saw this and like
Mm-hmm.
we're not doing what we do to the,
Mm-hmm.
you know, a lay person or whatever.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
I mean, it's just, it's really sad, and it's like it's literally just people being able to get away with murder,
And then
like,
you wonder why they think they're God, right? Because it's just like,
right.
Diddy, yes, you're absolutely right. If a hotel staff saw a woman trying to run out of her hotel room and then a man coming out in his bathrobe, slamming down a girl to the ground, the police would have been called faster than you could have said 911. However, in this situation, since it's Diddy, I'm sure they like had a meeting at the hotel staff. This thing was on
Mm-hmm.
the footage. Maybe we should reach out
People
to
sign
Right.
NDAs.
Maybe we should reach out to the publicist. Maybe we should figure out some type of deal. We don't want to ruin his reputation. And then you wonder why he thinks he can put his hands on people and do
And
this.
that's
Because
what,
we let them. We treat
but
them like
that's
they're on a
what
different level.
I feel like that is one thing about like this celebrity. I know that during this time, like, you know, celebrities are losing their,
Mm-hmm.
you know, like we're starting to get hip to just what they be into, and just knowing that, like you said, they're just not all that. They're just people. And I feel like I just think that as a people, as a culture, like we have to stop protecting, I feel
Absolutely.
like, celebrities for real. Like honestly,
Absolutely.
like yes, abusers, because I feel like it trickles down into a lot of different, like, you know, the daily life of people, and like
Mm-hmm.
protect abusers, because it definitely, people protect abusers, you know, in real life, everyday stuff. But I
Absolutely.
feel like on a cultural level, like that's like how it's on the macro level. I just feel like we really have to understand, like, we don't know these people.
No,
Like
we
we have
don't.
never met these people in our lives.
No, we don't.
And me and Slay were talking about that. Just like how these people, if we were to come up and, you know, ask for something, they'd be like, bitch, get away from
I
me.
mean, literally,
You
have you
know,
seen,
like,
you know what
and
you're
we're ready
saying?
to fight over these people.
Absolutely. Like what you're saying reminds me, and I don't want to, I say this story to not jump to this. Like I want to continue to talk about Diddy, but it just reminds me of this, how like, I don't know if you saw that video of John Legend and Chrissy Teigen this weekend,
Yes.
but it's like literally, that's how they'll treat you. They'll kick you out of the fucking room and talk shit while you walk
Oh
out.
my
You know what I'm
God.
saying?
Soleil,
And
I don't think Soleil's seen it, so
so
I'm gonna go
sorry, let me
Soleil.
get some context. Like just so there was a group of like like three girls. They were like pretty girls, probably in their 20s, in a photo booth at a party
We were
taking
waiting
pictures.
for,
And
yeah.
Chrissy Teigen and John Legend were waiting to get in the photo booth. Long
And the
story
girls
short,
were waiting for 30 minutes to get
yes.
into the bus.
So long story short, John Legend and Chrissy Teigen like just kind of come in the photo booth and kick them out, like tell them to get out. But you can see in the video the faces of the girls are like starting to get like disgusted, like what the fuck, who are you talking to? And you see Chrissy Teigen like mouthing off to them, and like basically like it's come out that like they kicked him out the photo booth, but also like she was like making like mean comments about their like appearance and the way they were posing in the pictures. And I feel like what you're saying is exactly that. We don't know these celebrities. And in fact, if we literally interact with them as normal people, they believe they're above us. Like they literally would treat us that way. But also I feel like you bring up a good point, Samantha, in that like we really should be like putting the fucking like laser and like what is it called, magnifying glass to celebrities, because I don't know, it reminds me of a conversation we had a while ago, and I'm not gonna say more than that, about like I remember there was this thing about like black billionaires and black celebrities, and I was making the point of like we need to like destroy that table. And somebody was saying like, well, I don't like, because black people are at the table, I more so want to look at the white people than the black celebrities. I'm like, no, I want to look at all the fucking celebrities, because to get to like, they're corrupt as hell. Like they believe they're better than other people. They get privileges that other people don't get. To get to the level of like success and like money wise that Diddy has, you had to have made decisions that were either favorable to like your community or not. And I just feel like people just give these people passes. And I think that's why we're at this point where Diddy, where he probably, if this video, he literally, sorry, this is the last thing I'll say. During the time of Cassie and him going back and forth in court, Diddy was denying everything Cassie said on that fucking lawsuit, okay? Literally saying she was lying, making tweets about how people were just trying to get money grabbed.
The truth is going to come out.
The truth is going to come out. And then when he settled with her, continued, okay? Continued to say that it was a lie, and this was just, the truth will come out, and people are trying to destroy him.
Making raps about him.
Exactly. If this video did not come out, he would still be singing this fucking tune. And so my thing is this: I absolutely am here for like the teardown of all these celebrities and us really looking at them with a critical lens, because he would not have made that apology video or even admitted to even hitting a woman had this video not come out, knowing that, and everybody around him knowing that he disrespected Cassie. Like
absolutely,
gaslight the world. Imagine how he treated them.
Gaslit the world. And I want to
attempted to like.
Oh yeah, he tried to pull a wool over renaming yourself Love. Like
I know, right, boy? That rebranding was a flop.
That was where God was like, "You got me fucked up. You're not about to put my name on your shit." But I want to go back to the Chrissy Teigen thing, because that video was just so like. Yeah, it was very.
I mean, it just showed literally her thinking she's better than people.
But and not even just Chrissy, like John Legend was Julia. Like, "Oh yeah, we want to get in, like we're gonna get in here now," like pointing his head out, and then they're like kind of confused, trying to just. Yeah, they're young girls.
They're young like girls. I mean, it was ridiculous.
Why do y'all even need to get in the photo booth? It was not even. I'm just like,
it was bullying. I would go as far as to say that, like, literally, they bullied them out of that.
Not even a. Y'all go to these parties all the time. These girls are probably just got into a Hollywood party or wherever the fuck they were. Why do y'all care so much to get in the damn photo booth?
They don't. They just think that they are better. They think they are better than people.
I'm over this. Like, girl, what?
I'm telling you, Samantha. They think they are better than people, because I feel like
I know. I've
told you this before, how like there's a certain level of celebrity where you never have to wait anymore. You can get anybody on the phone. You can fly anywhere you want. If you want anything of your heart's desire, it will happen for you within the like 30, 40 minutes.
That's not good for human.
This is the result where like literally you can't even be a normal fucking human and wait in a line at a photo booth. You believe that you're entitled to get what you want in the second. And I think that's Diddy. And I think that's Diddy too.
I think that
they had people running across the Brooklyn Bridge again.
Exactly, for fucking cheesecake. Like that's the level of celebrity we're at.
Yeah. And so like it was that celebrity has been at just such a crazy height, and I think that we are all just like, and also just knowing our power of being the consumers of this stuff. Like, are you going to pay attention to these weak, lame, whack,
and I just feel like
not cute, like
I don't know. So fucked up. Like people canceled Will Smith so fast. Hit a man who was disrespecting his wife. abandoned Will Smith.
Right. Exactly. It's like
And
he's not on the Oscar.
People are liking Diddy's apology video.
Oh yeah, I saw you, Kelly Price, in the comments.
Well, people said all you got to do is fucking like say you in a dark place, invoke God, and the black community is like, all right, cool. And it's just like, this is my thing.
And then he was out.
Give him the Chris Brown treatment. Never play him on a radio for a couple years. Don't have him at any fucking award shows. I want him canceled.
And that's what I'm so disgusted, because this nigga thinks it's sweet. He really does. Like, I'm just watching how he is. You know, I was on Reddit and I saw somebody say like, "Oh, he did a paparazzi walk," because it's like they know
with his fucking baby.
No, not even with the baby. He was like out in Miami smoking a cigar or whatever. And it's like, you know where to go to if you want to be seen. Absolutely. You know where to go. And so it's just like, you're really playing in our face, and it's really disgusting and disturbing. And like,
I need people to have a higher bar for celebrities. Like, I have a higher bar for humans in general, but celebrities, it's even higher. Because again, with a lot of privilege comes with a lot of responsibility. And at the point where you are literally, you know better. Don't tell me that you didn't know. There are plenty fucking people in a dark place and they don't put their fucking hand on somebody. Exactly. And let's be clear, had Cassie raised a fucking hand back, it wouldn't have been low. Well, she was in a bad place. She would have beat her ass. And then secondly, it's just like,
and all we saw was the freaking
I need a higher bar. To me, the level of like harm he caused, an apology is not proportional to it. Yeah, it's not enough to like get me back to your good graces. No, unfortunately,
not at all.
And especially when you tried to drag her and ruin her reputation when she put the lawsuit. Then when she settled, until now you had us thinking, well, not me, but some people thinking she was a liar. So literally, for me, sir, you have not had like you talked about last week, reconciliation, like. You have not like really humbled yourself.
Not at all. And that's what I'm saying. Like, we have to, like, you know, because me and Soleil were talking about this too. It's like, you don't want to like, what do we do with these celebrities? Like Chris Brown, like, we know that he has whatever. And it's like, what is the redemption? Like, that's
a good question. I can't answer
that. What does the rehabilitation look like? And I definitely don't think that,
I don't know,
most of the people that are, you know, I think again, the money, the privilege, you're able to just kind of like skip over those steps.
This is the thing. I feel like I would have a good answer to that.
You don't have enough consequence.
Exactly. I would have a good answer to that if I actually saw reconciliation. Chris Brown did the same shit to Carucci. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's not like he learned from Rihanna. He continued to beat people's asses.
Like, you continue to have this behavior.
Exactly. So it's just like, it's hard for me to say, yeah, what is it? Are you just canceled and you're canceled forever and you can never come back? And I'm like, I don't know. I don't have the answer to that. But what I do know is that, like, I have yet to see anybody at a high level truly be sorry, because we also saw the Asian girl that Diddy used to mess with literally talked about how he bashed her head into a fucking door. We also, you know what I'm saying, like Kim Porter, there's been so many like things of abuse with that. Like, it's hard because it's like, you have never learned, sir. So it's like, this apology fucking video, I'm sure you're gonna beat another girl's ass next week.
Oh my god, Alexis, absolutely. He is still, I mean, it drives me crazy that he is just, I was telling Soleil too, because we've just been talking about this, but just even able to talk to us. Like, I'm like, I don't want to hear from this sick ass, crazy ass.
And it's a narcissist. That's a narcissist behavior, because it's like, one thing you should have done is shut up at that moment. The moment that, like, you should have shut up, went away, let your publicist handle it, and maybe come out in 4 years with a fucking sit-down interview with Gayle King or something. But instead, you go straight to your fucking phone and talk about God.
Nigga, you need to go to 60 Minutes. You need to go.
Right.
Like, what is happening right now?
Yeah,
I mean, it just goes to show me how he's like, well, I can control the narrative. Like, in his mind, he's really like, I can do this.
Yeah,
like,
he is, and he's
idiot.
He low key, like, you know, on lowest of keys, because there's not enough backlash. Like, I'm not comfortable with, like, I think this is one of the worst, like, physical assault videos that we have seen, like, from a celebrity, and it is not getting enough like I need
I'm
people
seeing
speaking
people
up about
talking
this.
about it, but I feel like that's
Not
what we need. That's what we
I'm
need.
not talking about us. I'm
Right,
talking about the
celebrities.
celebrities. I'm talking
Yes,
about the people
yes.
that are in
I
his
agree.
corner, Kris Jenner,
I
like all
agree.
these people that we have all these pictures
I
with.
agree. I
Are you
agree.
going to say something?
I
But we
agree.
know that they're not. We
No.
know that they don't because guess what?
Power and money. Power and
Again,
money.
Dolce and Gabbana, I'm pretty sure is that the
What?
designer that did that sick like kids
No, was it? I don't think it was Dolce & Gabbana. I know what you're talking about, but I think it was.
Balenciaga maybe?
I know what you mean. I know what you're talking about, though.
The company that he keeps.
Well, I'm just saying that like Balenciaga, like Kim came out or something and said something against them. I forget which fashion house did this, but they did like a whole campaign where it was like using kids and like
I know what
kids
you're talking about.
toys.
Yeah.
I'm giving the background.
Oh.
And like, they wore like BDSM stuff and they had like papers scattered around that was like from, like sexual assault, like kids shit. And it was like scattered in the photo shoot. It was like very intentionally done. And they're still out here living. I'm pretty sure Kim's like the head of it or some shit. Like,
I mean, it's just like bottom line, people don't care. Like, I just feel like that's what we
I'm saying,
learned. Like, people don't care. Like, literally just the other week.
Jada Pinkett Smith. I mean, Beyonce really doesn't say anything about anything ever. But all of them, like Melina Masukas, like they all came out and spoke up. They all came and spoke out against R. Kelly.
Yeah.
Like I remember the world was fucking trying to ruin R. Kelly. And I feel like the Will Smith thing too, like so many people shamed Will Smith for violence.
You're right. You're right.
Y'all ain't gonna come out and speak out against Diddy. Like this video is.
I feel like there's a like. I feel like I have
George
a thought.
Floyd level.
Yeah, it is.
I agree, and I feel like I have a thought as to why, because I feel like, and it's not like a good reason, but I just feel like Will Smith. I feel like their whole thing is like, well, he did that on basically like a white. What do you call it? A white table, like a white audience, like the Oscars, the most like bougiest time. You know what I'm saying? Like, and I feel like so it was like, of course we don't do violence, but I feel like it's a hotel years ago. Like it's just like I don't know. Diddy can kind of more so get away with it
in the moment,
but I also feel like y'all are both absolutely right, and I feel like again it just goes back to money and power, because even I remember Chris Brown won an award I think earlier this year, and I think Kelly Rowland accepted it, and people were booing Kelly Rowland when she accepted it, and she was like, no, he's my friend and I love him. It's just like I feel like at the end of the day some people are hesitant to like go against other people if they're like, well, I know him personally, he's a good person, or if they're in business deals and shit. And I feel like that's the fucking problem, because we love Kelly Rowland, but I remember when she did that about Chris Brown. You know what I'm saying? Like,
yeah, it's definitely, and that's why we need to, like you said, on all levels, expect more from these people, because we don't know y'all. Like, yes, you give us some nice bops sometimes, and like obviously I think maybe that will help us get back to like the art of things when we don't give a fuck about like you personally, and it's like, give us something good and stand for something, or
but what are your, and like also just a lot of people,
but we do need to have, I just feel like with celebrities, I think we need to really like, I feel like what they call like the parasympathetic relationship, like we really need to study that shit, because we have a lot of loyalty to these people that could give a fuck about us.
They don't care.
Like we're struggling in our everyday. They do not care.
People just believe that they can be that. Like, I guarantee you the hotel staff probably thought to themselves, it would probably get themselves in good graces with Diddy. They'd rather not deal on the backlash of Diddy, which is the lawsuits of like, you have private footage of me and you released it, so they'd rather just be on his good side and just like handle it privately. I feel like people they either aspire to be these celebrities, so that's why they're like buddy, or they're on some weird, like, I know her and I know his heart and he would never do that type of weird shit. But I feel like it goes down to people either want to be powerful and rich, or they believe they know them. And it's a
And it's
very sick
literally,
thing.
it's everybody. It's like there's nobody that's exempt from that. Like, we don't know these people, you know, like.
Well, yeah, because my question to you, Samantha, is like, are you implying that you're gonna stop listening to Kelly Rowland's music? Like, what exactly are you saying?
Why
No.
Kelly Rowland?
Oh, well, I had just mentioned Kelly Rowland. No, we're not saying that I'm not, like, would listen, but I'm just saying that, like, people, I don't think we're going to see celebrities standing out and speaking out against Diddy, because I remember when Chris Brown had won some award, Kelly Rowland accepted it on his behalf and people were booing. And she was like, well, no, he's my friend and he's, you know, he's a good artist, yada, yada, yada. So basically what I'm saying is, I don't think we'll see celebrities sticking out on Diddy because they have some type of tie to him. Like, they're either like business deals or they think they know him and he, you know, he's my friend, he's a good heart, he made a mistake. I don't think we're going to see that many people speaking out on him is what I'm trying to say.
What I'm saying is that I am not about to be out here defending none of these people because I don't know them. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's
same.
I should be able to believe that any of these people are capable of the things that are being said about them.
Absolutely.
Because I don't know them. Like, you know what I'm saying?
And just
and
like,
it's just like,
to be a billionaire,
and I get it.
You have to make decisions that are like most people would look at and think that is disgusting. I mean, I remember Barack Obama talked about in one interview how to be the president, to get to the point of being a president, he had to make decisions that like broke some relationships he had in the past, that like, you know, that like upheld certain things he doesn't stand for, but you have to fucking play the game to get to the seat of the president. And I feel like it's the same with like these rich fucking powerful people. They had to make decisions that were also bad and good and we might consider evil and corrupt. So what I'm trying to say is, yes, everybody is capable of doing dark shit, especially these people who have gotten to places that are very fucking hard. And so it's just like weird as hell to me that people would think, and this is just going off of Diddy, but like anybody fucking any rich person is like the nicest, you know, like I feel like, I mean, we're a beehive, but I feel like people always want to put things on Beyonce, like we like, you know, she's like Beyonce so this, Beyonce so that. I mean, I'm sure she's great, but it's like also to get to the level where she's at, she had to make some fucking decisions that we probably would have been looking sideways at. So it's just like everyone is capable of this shit. It's just not, I'm not saying beating, but I'm just saying
and I will say at this point, yeah, like if somebody comes out and is with Diddy, I'm not focused. Like I'm like, that's like a line. You know what I'm saying? Like, or standing up for them or standing beside them or like defending him. It's like, you are a part of the problem. Like, you are literally defending an abuser. And it's like, it's such a weird thing. Like, I don't know. It's such a weird psychology thing of like why the person or why we protect abusers. Like, I truly feel like it's just the weirdest thing.
I think
because
it's
even like on a micro level, like when it comes to like family and stuff, like it's just like nobody
because
wants
people
to
would rather, yes, here we go. Yeah. There you go. Say it. That's exactly it.
I was just gonna say, nobody wants to upset the abuser.
Well, it's also, I think, fear of being harmed.
Yep.
Yeah. And
I also think it's like disrupting the peace. Like there's a false peace when nobody fucks up the situation, I think.
Diddy blew up Kid Cudi's car.
Right.
I'm sure all these people who we're talking about
have death threats
about that before we did.
Right.
So what are your thoughts? Like, I'm curious of y'all's thoughts. Like,
I guess I just mean like in terms of, I'm just curious what is that psychology? Like, I guess when it's not so dramatic, I guess it is. It's just like a fear that is.
I mean, I think it's a lot of things.
I think it's a couple things. One, it's like, what am I really gonna do? Like, what am I gonna do? I'm gonna go to a police station. I am giving hearsay. I have no evidence. Yeah. I am a witness at best. Am I even an eyewitness?
I guess what I'm talking about, like, I get what you're saying, and I'm just saying, like, there is a, it feels like an inherent thing to protect the abuser, even like, you know, like in my personal family or whatever. It's just like, why are we all protecting this nigga? Like, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, it's just like something that happens where it's just like, we're all like, you know, I don't know. We don't want to like tell the truth about this person. Or we don't want it to be true or something, but it is.
I think it is as simple as like you like
their head. Doing what you need to do to be safe or something.
Well, I think it's unconscious.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think it's completely unconscious where you don't want to paint the picture to be as ugly as it really is.
Yeah.
Really for yourself, I think.
Right.
Because you have to relive.
You gotta live it with this. You have to like live with the reality of like, oh
and
shit.
every time you have this conversation, you're living the gruesome, you know, as detailed as you're gonna get in a conversation with someone, you're gonna relive that every single time.
Yeah.
And so it's like, I think you don't realize that you're actually protecting this person by soothing it and keeping it light, getting straight to the
keeping
point.
It light.
Yeah.
That's what it's crazy. Man.
It is. You have to be so careful about
that.
that.
And it is really, and I do feel like there's a protection of that person. Like I'm not gonna
There
lie.
is.
I mean, absolutely. I feel like that's the tale as old as time. Like you all, like I feel like that constantly happens, right? This protection. But I'm curious about y'all's thoughts on like, what are y'all thoughts on like everybody else in the room? Because I feel like you know, we see with like lay people, yes, there's this protection. I feel like you see it in movies, whatever. But like with celebrities, where people who actually like have the money and also the power to make shit move, witnessing these things, what are your thoughts on them kind of just like watching it? I don't know.
I think it is a red flag for it's like a red flag for all of us who give a fuck about any of these people.
Mm-hmm.
Because when I think about George Floyd and I think about Will Smith slapping Chris Rock, or you think about just stuff that is nowhere as near as bad. I mean, the George Floyd thing was obviously bad, but it's like celebrities really feel like it is their fucking job to get up and say what the fuck they think a lot, right? They get pressured like often these days. Motherfuckers is like, you know, that they feel the need to like say what they believe. And I feel like, I mean, I naturally think about like the personal and the political. I feel like personally, a lot of these people probably do have a real rapport with Puff, for real. Cause like I think I don't know if you know this, Alexis. Samantha didn't seem to know this, but like Pink, the singer, is like a super feminist activist.
I did know that.
Yes. And I'm like, I cannot believe she hasn't said anything about Diddy. But then I'm like, she might have been hanging out with Diddy when she was a young girl.
Absolutely.
And never had an issue with him. So it's like, these people might be having a much more deeper personal reckoning that we just don't even know. Like I think about Nori, for example, who does Drink Champs. There's no way he's gonna come out and say anything about Diddy. Like he worshipped the man on the fucking podcast, you know. So it's like these people might be having their own like personal meltdowns about the fact that
this person's
they were like in this deep relationship. And then I feel like and at the same time, I feel like that can't be everyone's experience. And therefore, I do wish that more people were speaking out about it, or just in a very diplomatic way. Like Faith Evans could come out and just say like, I just want everybody to know for the record, point blank period, that I don't support domestic violence under any circumstances. She doesn't have to come for Diddy. You know what I mean? But like as a woman and like as a singer, it's like, this is so loaded. It's like, it's on one hand, it's domestic violence. On the other hand, it's like an executive signed a girl
Mm-hmm.
and made her
abused her
his
like
fucking
hell.
slave.
Yeah. Yes. Yes.
And like, what the fuck, bro?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Like, it's just so many levels, and you know, yeah, you know, and like, girl, you know, women want to be like women empowerment, blah 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 blah. Everybody's healing, everybody's health and wellness. I'm like, okay, so what's up, Angie Martinez? What you got to
Yeah,
Yeah.
we want to hear from you, girl.
Yes, Oprah, you're right, Samantha.
I'm like, and I do.
I mean, everybody. I mean, every fucking rapper that's in a
didn't-
fucking picture with this nigga, like all of y'all. I want to hear something from y'all.
Yeah, I think too, like, it would be really nice if the men could say something like, you know, like, I feel like that too. Men be protecting these niggas, like
Absolutely.
all, like even just like Fabulous, like there's things that we know.
Well, Fab is violent.
Yes, he's violent as hell.
But like, I feel like people still like.
For sure they do. I mean, I think sadly that this, I mean, that video is horrible. I've never witnessed anything like that in my real life.
Mm-hmm.
I would pray to God that I would be brave enough to like run somewhere and call the police if I was ever in that situation like that.
Mm-hmm.
But sadly, I think a lot of men and the men we're talking about as well have been in a domestic violence situation themselves. So they're like yeah, you know what I'm saying? Like they look at that and
they're just
say,
like, oh, he's handling his
they're
woman.
like, let me hide right now.
Exactly.
What am I about to come out my mouth and say? What
exactly?
So that my ex-girlfriend can like
exactly.
Yeah, bro.
But you know what though?
Everything I thought about, I'm like, that nigga might have been did some all types
That's
of
a
shit.
very good point. But I also feel like now it makes me wonder how people move from this. Like, if Diddy is at a fucking party, event, picture, brunch, any fucking thing, that speaks volumes. Like after this video comes out, I can't wait to see where he's at next.
And I was gonna say, like, I think so, you're right. Like, people may still be processing it. Like, I think we could still get, like, I think maybe there's still maybe an outpouring of.
I think so too. Like, I think about like I think I'm like Missy Elliott, Timbaland, Keisha Cole, but then I think to myself and I'm like, yo,
even BET,
Missy Elliott, like, so wait, she might have been FaceTiming Diddy 2 weeks ago, like, maybe because it's like even the cat, like when you imagine if I don't even know a nigga who we're all fuck with like that, because it's like. I feel like the amount of heteronormative cisgendered black men. But like, let's say in high school, right? Let's say, shout out to David Naves. Hopefully he doesn't care that I use him as an example. What if
Be careful.
What if he was the center of an extremely controversial, scandalous lawsuit, but there was no evidence? We are all his friend. We don't know. We have no idea what really occurred. All we have is our rapport with him. There's no evidence. There's no nothing. He is vehemently denying it. He is also, I picked a bad person, Brandon Coleman. That's a better
person. Yeah, that's a better person.
Because he was like a fucking virgin Christian, sexy, blah, blah, blah. And play football, play basketball, play this. He's practiced every single day. Oh my God, peer minister, whatever.
I feel like for me, it would have to be somebody that like I would want to like any of those people that I feel like are a degree distant. Like I would be like,
who cares? Okay, well let's go back to David.
If it was talent, for instance, like that's like somebody that like
I mean, driving even closer to home. That's a perfect example because basically that is what happens in these scenarios. Just like Felicia Rashad to this day believes that Bill Cosby is innocent.
Yeah.
So it's
but this is the thing.
Like if you're doing this, our values don't align. You're not who I thought you were. You know, like you can't be out here doing this shit. Like, you know,
wait, where
anybody. It's like,
well, all I'm basically trying to explain is that before the video came out,
people like it was still allegations.
Well, what I'm really trying to say is like, imagine if someone who you consider your chosen family was accused of something that is pretty bizarre and ridiculous and wild.
But what if you saw it? Like, it's hard for me to believe that these people have never seen Diddy in the 10 years he was with Cassie I'm not even saying hit her, but go as far as to disrespect her in a way that you're like a little bit like looking to the side, like, oh my God.
For some reason,
I can't
feel
imagine
like
they haven't seen that.
I also feel like some of these relationships that we feel like are super like close and deep, like they talk, you know, whatever. It's like they probably talk, you know, twice a year, like, you know, like whatever, you know. It's like I feel like we may think that the people that, you know,
I think it's a combination of both, because when you think about the people in your life who you cherish and you don't talk to them, I don't talk to a lot of people more than once a year.
I guess I just feel like industry shit is different than like, you know, like you're my friend of life. You know what I mean? Like I feel like if you're meeting on some like business shit or like you're making music with somebody, like it's not as deep as, you know, some of the friendships that I feel like we make in real life.
I think you're right, but I think it's different for different artists. Like, you know, Pharrell and Jay-Z, it's pretty obvious that they have a deeper rapport than like SZA and Pharrell.
Maybe I just what Missy and Diddy's relationship was like, you know.
Hold on, we should we should start wrapping up soon. It's been like an hour. Just
oh my God, we didn't even.
But wait, let's switch. Let's Diddy sucks. Yes, let's move on to like something like
Diddy
for
sucks.
the last 5 minutes. But I'm curious of like like now that we have Soleil here, I'm curious about her thoughts. So like Normani's album comes out in less than a month. I want to hear Soleil's thoughts.
Oh my God.
What is your thoughts on this?
We have other.
What are your thoughts on this? Like,
Normani's album is about to come out in a month.
What are your thoughts on this?
He hasn't put out a lot of promo for it.
Any at all.
She just put out a single like a few weeks ago,
which was a slow R&B. It's about to be the summer,
and it was like a slow R&B song.
Yeah, what are your thoughts, Soleil?
It's like the summer, and Alexis feels like she
just put out a song with Gunna.
Yeah, that's the song we're talking about.
It's like a slow R&B song, and like we were talking about how we felt like it was just not, you know,
the song of the summer. I don't know. I was anticipating her to come out with a full 8-count song. You know, she's known for Movement. This is her debut single. I was expecting it to be something that would like get us moving and dancing for the summer. It's a slow R&B song,
and we have a couple weeks till her album comes out.
Yes, and there's been no promo. What are your thoughts?
I see it from two different angles. My gut feeling is emphasizing how expensive it is to do what you guys are talking about. It requires at least $500,000 minimum to create the experience you all are talking about, especially if you're doing it ethically, where everyone who's involved is getting paid, and there's timing, and there's digital, and there's promo, and there's radio, and there's Apple Music, and there's playlists. All of that is either nepotism or literally you're buying that PR package. You're buying that marketing package. You're paying for a choreographer. You're paying for dancers. You're buying the girls' costumes, their fucking nail polish, their hair. You paying for their socks. You paying for everything, literally. So that's the first thing I think about. And then the second thing I think about is just like, sadly, I don't know what kind of control what is the level of control her situation, her deal basically requires, because I've been in a lot of meetings with artists, and flat out, if a record label has you under a certain contract, they can literally look at your perfect album that has 12 perfect songs that you think is amazing, and they can literally say, we're not putting this out, period. Go back and make something else. And you have no other choice. Literally. Or you're going to be shelved like Christina Milian. Like, that's how people end up, like JoJo. It's like, you're either going to do what we want you to do, or you're never putting out music ever. And so I don't know her situation. I can't imagine her signing a deal like that, because she came from a girl group. And I would pray to God that she was not dumb enough to sign a deal like that. But you just never know what kind of pressure people are under. The other thing too is like, and this is not like my real gut feeling, but if I just want to like kiki on like some Gemini shit, basically, it's like, it's a different kind of clout choice that she led with a single with Gunna, because he makes hits, period. And he is that nigga. Regardless of the whole Young Thug shit, he sold out Barclays recently. Everyone loved his latest album, and he is like a beloved little young, rap person. So maybe she thinks she's being cool and interesting in a different way by leading with this kind of a song. And honestly, like, this is kind of, now I'm really going left field, but it's like, maybe she never wanted to be that 8-count girl in the first place.
Wow. I didn't even think about that.
Yeah, like, what if she wants to sit on a fucking, like, I don't know if you guys know Dua Lipa.
Yeah, I love Dua Lipa.
She can sing like Adele.
Yes, she can. She's so
she
good.
Doesn't.
I know. She's a pop star.
Yep. She was like, nah, fuck that, bro. Yes. Like, I'm trying to do this pop shit.
Yes.
And, Beyonce can Jasmine Sullivan the whole fucking house down if she wanted to. But she's like, nah, nigga, I'm about this 8-count. Fuck you thought. Like, I'm Diana Ross, motherfucker. So maybe Normani is just like genuinely wants to go in a different direction. But what is obvious in today's realm, because you all are so invested in her, it's obvious that she's missing the thing that she shouldn't be, which is communicating with her fans, because even somebody like Rihanna gets on Instagram Live and says what the fuck is going on.
Come on now.
Yeah, so it's like, if SZA and fucking Lizzo get on Instagram Live, sis, you can get on Instagram Live and tell your fans what's really going on.
I know. And I've talked about her astrology, and I feel like she's like a little bit like maybe scared of her light or something like that.
She can be rich and privileged and have no reason to even go
You're
there.
right. There's always a different side to it too. That's very true. I didn't think about that.
Yeah, I'm just going to be waiting for this album. I'm going to just wait patiently. I know we have a couple weeks. Maybe she'll go live. Jupiter, chill.
We're rooting
I
for
really
you.
wanted to talk about Amber Rose saying that she's voting for Trump.
We can talk about it for like 10 minutes, sure. Go ahead, tell us.
Okay, I will. So right before we got on to do this podcast, Amber Rose posted a picture with Trump and Melania saying Trump 2024. So yeah.
She influenced a lot of people.
Yes, she does. And it is shocking to this woman did the freaking slut walk and has made her whole career about being women's rights and for, protecting women. I mean, literally, that's what the walks are about. And then to put out this statement of supporting Trump, and as much as you want to say about Amber Rose, Soleil's right, she influences a lot of people.
Honestly, but all of them, it's not even just Amber Rose. We can talk about her, and I know she made a statement, but even just Cardi B earlier this week saying she's not voting at all, and that she's not voting for anyone. A lot of people listen to Cardi B, and again, people can hate me, but I just feel like that's just as dangerous to me, because I'm just at the end of the day, you can be mad about the fucking war on Gaza, but Trump is literally MSNBC was talking about this the other day. if Trump wins this, they're actually concerned that we would ever see anybody else in office. Like, it might pull a Putin in Russia type thing where it's like Trump remains and changes rules where he stays in public, or in office, or he just makes it that the line of succession is just Trump's from the next 10, 15, 20 years. So literally, to me, a vote for nobody is a vote for fucking Trump, and it's just as dangerous. Like, so to me,
yeah, it is. It is mathematically
and
correct.
so it's just like, literally, to me, it's just like, yes, you can straight up endorse, but to me, it's just as bad. Like, all these celebrities are disappointing me on this shit, because I'm just like, it's so ignorant to say vote for Trump, but it's also so ignorant to say you're just gonna sit this one out. And again, Cardi B doesn't care about you. She's rich. She can afford to do that. But if you're a woman, if you're not rich, if you're queer, if you're a person of color, that's stupid as fuck. So to me, it's like, I'm not even like, it's like, yes, it's like the low-hanging fruit to be like, yeah, Amber Rose, you're bad. But honestly, a lot of these celebrities have been like disappointing me on like their takes.
Like it's more about the fact that she just woke up a different person.
Yeah.
It's like, who are you? Yeah.
This is what, yeah.
Well, it's like, what the fuck? Like, you were, like, I think that, like Soleil said, it's very shocking that
I think with you, who you are and your values or whatever. But Amber Rose, I don't know if y'all follow like her shit. She's like trying to catch a wave. Like, she put out an album and then she was like, or she started putting out music and then she was like, I don't fuck with the music industry. And then she's like doing a podcast and she does these things and I'm like, okay, you trying to like do something or whatever. So it's like, bitch, this your thing about it? Like, this your something about this something?
It's not cute also. Oh shit. I was like, I just also think it's not cute that Trump, like, I just feel like, even just like you said, trying to catch a wave, like, I feel like we know Kim that was like aligned with Trump. It just is not cute. It's just very lame. And Kanye.
It's really irresponsible. I mean, it's like hard for me to think of anything but anger and just say it's just extremely irresponsible.
It is sad. And you know what? It's sad because, and I agree, like, with what you're saying, because like you said, Cardi B has the budget to fucking flee this country.
Yeah.
Honestly, she's also delusional because the police will kill her too.
They will. And you're right. She's absolutely delusional. But it's just like, I don't know, it's just very sad because I'm just like, it's very irresponsible. And I also just feel like it's kind of what Soleil said. They feel like they can kind of just get on a mic and say whatever they want. Because I'm just like, if you're not all the way informed, like, you really should not talk. And I know that's like and it's like a very weird thing to say. And I'm not saying I'm all the way informed too, but I'm just like, especially when you have like a fucking platform to that magnitude, you really should not like say something unless you really do your work. Because did you see her thing? Like, she said,
think about your karma too. Like,
she said, I always put women first. This is Amber Rose's Instagram. I'll always put women first. Y'all want biological men and women's sports. Trump supports the most reasonable compromise on abortion. Stop being brainwashed because we're people of color. Make your own decisions. It's just like,
what?
That's what I'm saying. You didn't do your research.
Literally sounds like an alien took over her body. And
the most reasonable compromise on abortion.
Right. What are you saying?
She doesn't know what she's saying. And what do you mean a compromise? Exactly, on abortion.
Right. That doesn't even make sense.
That's why, I don't know, it's just irresponsible. It's like hard to say more than just anger, because it's just
I was just wanting to finish by just saying that, like, I agree. I feel like the people that get, like, the people that are that actually deal with the everyday, like, we just started this conversation, like, celebrities have different fucking rules.
Absolutely.
So maybe that's why they fucking don't care as much, And I will say, at the end of the day, as you know, like, I am an astrologer, and the astrology is saying that this country is crumbling. Like, that's what the astrology is saying. And so I just am like, I feel like it's definitely, you fight till the end, obviously, and especially, just in terms of, like you said, the people that actually deal with this. Like, to just not do anything is like, okay, you're making a choice, like you said, and it's just like, you know, just even if this might be the fucking last vote, like you said, just fuck it. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, fuck it. Put your vote down. Like, this was fought for you. Even if you like, I just feel like
This is another
sometimes,
thing.
and
Sorry.
I do understand, like, trust me, astrology people, trust me, like spiritual people, like, I believe in divestment from this country. But at the end of the day, like, I feel like reality is I don't feel like it costs me anything to send a piece of paper in the mail and like check off a box. Like,
People are just
you know?
ignorant. Like, I really just feel like they're ignorant. And I like, this is the last thing I'll say because my computer's about to die and my charger's not working for some reason. But like, I feel like I say this a lot where it's just like, I just can't get past people saying like they can't vote for Biden because of like the war on Gaza and they can't stomach it. I'm like, since black people were able to vote, they have never been 100% happy with the candidate.
Period.
They've always had to take it on the cheek and fucking put the vote in because they understood that not voting was worse than voting for the person they don't like, but they're just going to do it anyway. It is an incredibly privileged thing to have the opportunity to be like, well, I don't like it, so I'm good if I don't vote. People, it shows that you're privileged because it's just like people of color have never been able to be that safe in this country where you could just say, I'm not going to vote because I don't like it. We still had to fucking vote for the person we didn't want in that seat because it was better than not.
And
so
you just forget, you really have forgotten completely what a democracy is. Like, you're never going to live in an experience where you're 100 out of 108.
Exactly.
You love this person so much. It's never been like that for anyone.
Right.
Even for Republicans, you know what I mean?
Like,
Republicans don't want to be shitting on homeless people and robbing kids of their fucking social services, but they've chosen their priorities and they just vote for those priorities and they move on with their lives and they figure out different ways to be like philanthropic or whatever, right?
Right. And so for me, it's like to not think about the other people is just wild. To be like, well, fuck the gay people, fuck the people of color, fuck the women, fuck the kids. To say fuck immigrants, to say fuck all these people just because of this one issue is incredibly evil to me. It's
agree.
evil to
and
me.
It's like, evil, you're right. And you're just ruining, you know, what we need democracy. Like, we cannot fuck up this. We can't fuck this thing up. And like, just like Alexis said, like, God forbid Donald Trump turns our government into something other than a democracy.
That's what I'm saying, y'all. Like, I kind of feel like the astrology.
Look. My computer is dying. Okay, the charger's not connecting.
This is the last thing I'm gonna say. I'm just gonna say that the astrology says that this country contract is up. It is crumbling. It is an empire crumbling. That's what all of the astrologers are saying.
I believe it.
Do with that information as you would. Like, it feels like Trump's about to fucking win. Like, because of all these things that we're seeing.
Have him winning, yeah.
So yeah, it sounds about like time to, you know, really honestly, and this is why it's so sad and fucked up and why we need to do something now to, like, I don't know, flip this economy or make some other type of like currency or some shit, because if we don't have any power, like, that's who it's going to affect. And it's more important now than ever to like put your fucking middle fingers up to these celebrities, get your money. Like, we have to worry about ourselves, y'all. Like, they're thinking about them. So
yes, they are.
Anyways, right, exactly. They put out the fucking movie. Like, we gotta think on our feet, y'all. I'm really, but it's
Jay-Z and Beyonce live in a cement house.
Oh my god, they will be airlifted out and fine. So we really need to start thinking for ourselves. And I truly, I know I probably sound crazy, but like, we are going into a new time. So new currencies, how we make this shit work together for ourselves, and stop giving so much of our attention to just shit that just doesn't feed us at all, like this celebrity shit. And I'm talking to myself too. Like, this shit isn't working, and they're not about to come help us make it work. They're not about to do that. So, anyways, thank you guys for listening to the podcast. Yes, thank you so much, Soleil, for coming and joining.
Yes, we have to have you back because you're always like, it's fun to talk to you. So.
Oh my God, we always have the best conversations. So yes, email us your discussion topics at Who Am I to Judge Pod.
Sorry, the thing you're hearing is my charger trying to like find my computer.
Yeah, I was wondering. But yes, welcome to Gemini season, you guys. Bye. Thank you so much for listening. Remember to email us your discussion topics at whoamitojudgepod@gmail.com. Also, remember to subscribe to Who Am I to Judge podcast on Spotify and everywhere you get your podcasts. If you love us, please rate us and review. And if you don't, leave us alone. Tell a friend to tell a friend. See y'all next week. Bye, friends.